Good.
Uh,
Nice.
I didn't look at them. Yeah. So yeah. All right. I
At what?
have a
So yeah.
meetup starting.
Hey,
Okay.
Emmanuel.
Hey Bryce, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Hey mommy.
So yeah. So I know Mommy's real name is Deborah.
Deborah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the mommy, is it from like somebody who's using her account and they named it
No,
like that, or is it?
no. My kid set up my account for me, and he thought he was funny. Called me
Oh.
Mammy.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, mommy. Okay, yeah,
Mammy,
makes
Mammy.
sense.
Yeah. But that shouldn't be on there because on Meetup, I have my name on Meetup on the
Oh
Meetup.
yeah. It's Deborah on
Yeah.
Meetup. Yeah.
Yeah. So how come it says Mammy? I didn't even know.
I think it's on Google. So if
Oh
you want
yeah.
to change it, you're gonna have to go into your Google settings.
But I thought it would just take whatever
Yeah.
Meetup. Hmm. Where are you guys from? Originally.
Hey, Richard.
Yeah, what's going on, everyone?
Yeah, things
Hey.
good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Trying to stay out of this cold, man. Sure. But you're a Quebecer, so you know all about this frosty chill.
Who is from Quebec?
I'm from Quebec.
Oh, you're from Quebec. Oh.
Yeah.
That's why he's being all quiet. He's like, I'm
Oh,
trying not to think about that right now, Richard.
Oh,
oh yeah. I was actually just like writing to the group for.
I'm just teasing you.
I lived in Montreal for 6 months. It was cold, really, really cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a different kind of breeze out that way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is weird.
I know it's crazy cold up there. I was there too. I was in Quebec City before, and the coldness is one of the reasons why I came down to Ontario.
Oh, that's why you came to Toronto.
Yeah, one of the reasons.
Yeah. Not that much better here, but yeah, a little bit better.
And at least in Ontario, they clean their road a little bit faster, sooner than in.
Yes. Oh.
Probably gonna start soon. We'll just wait a little bit for more people to join.
Did you guys hear about Tesla? They're gonna be accepting Bitcoin as a payment, and Elon Musk just added about 1.5 billion of Bitcoin to his
Yeah.
to the like Tesla's asset.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was one of the best news. I'm gonna share something about it after, but yeah, really good news this morning.
You
Yeah.
guys
Yeah,
own Bitcoin.
Yeah. I'm really into Bitcoin, so
Oh boy.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was a good morning.
Wow. When did you buy it? How long ago?
Oh, I'm constantly buying some, so trying to
Okay.
like having some fiat money and a lot of
Yeah.
Bitcoin as well. Hmm. All right, so yeah, now 6:30, so we're gonna start. Today we're gonna talk about something really interesting because like I know a lot of people in the group are always asking like they purchased the stock and they actually want to know like should I buy the stock? Should I keep it? What should I do? Right? I have it. It went up like 10-20%. What should I do with it? And that's basically what we're gonna cover today, right? So another thing that we're gonna talk about a bit later We're just gonna like go briefly over what's going on with the Bitcoin and Dogecoin, because like a lot of people were also asking about Dogecoin, right? And some people were involved into it. So yeah, we're just gonna like talk briefly about it. But for now, let's go right away into the stock. So when is the best time to sell a stock? Emmanuel, whenever you're ready.
Thank you very much, Bright. Thanks everyone for joining. We'll be talking about an exit strategy today. Actually, this is one of the most important things actually as you are trading, because like when you make your profit, it's all you always have that question like, when should I get out, or should I take out all my profit? Is this still gonna go back? Is it still gonna keep going up? And then if you stay too long, sometimes it actually reverses even, and you lose a little bit of your profit. So yeah, we're just gonna talk a little bit about that, and I'm gonna show you how you can even use that strategy to secure as much profit as you can, but still ride the trend and make sure you are maximizing your profit. Sure. So as we're talking, so what we're gonna be talking about as we are using the exit strategy, one of the strategy that I'll be developing today is called the Fibonacci sequence, or the Fibonacci strategy. So I'm just gonna share my screen here. Just let me know if you can see it, Bryce.
I cannot see it.
Here you go.
Yeah, now I can see it.
Okay, perfect. All right. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the exit strategy using the Fibonacci sequence, and just an overview. So I will give a little bit a short explanation of what the Fibonacci sequence is, and how to use it for an exit, and how you can also use it for an as an entry indicator, or how to you can use it in a retracement. And then at the end we have a summary of what we talked about and the Q&A. All right, so the Fibonacci sequence is actually a sequence of numbers that were found by an Italian called Leonardo de Pisa, aka Fibonacci. And basically, what that sequence means is the fact that if you add the first numbers, so the sequence itself is actually what is written down here: 1 1 2 3 5 8 1 13 21 34 55, and so on. So what the sequence actually is built on, or the logic behind that, is the fact that if you add one number with the previous number, you will get the next number in the sequence. So for example, if you add 1 with 0 with 1, you're going to get 1, which is the next in the sequence. If you add 1 to 1, you're going to get 2. If you add 2 to 1, you're going to get 3. 3 to 2, you get 5. 5 to 3, you get 8. And that's how the sequence continues. Now, this sequence is actually something that was discovered as a sequence of the nature. So it's something that they figured out that this sequence has been used. You found it in a lot of places in nature, basically in the universe. And some of the example actually is that when they use this sequence to create like a rectangle, and with the rectangle they start with a square. So they build a rectangle based on squares with the same measurement as this sequence, and with those squares, they linked the corners to each corner, one corner to another corner, and it built this kind of spiral. Now, with this spiral, they found out that this spiral has been found in a lot of places in nature. For example, if you look in, this is like, for example, this is a tornado down here. The way that a tornado is formed and the way that a tornado moves, it moves in a spiral. And that spiral, if you try to draw it geometrically, you're gonna find that it is drawing a spiral that follows that sequence. It follows pretty much this same sequence here. So they found it also in the galaxy, in an egg, in the fingerprint, and a lot of other places. Now, what we're gonna do, or what we understand from there, is that okay, this is a sequence, or this is one of the law of the universe, or something like that. It's a sequence of the universe. How can we actually use that in the market? Because the market, there is actually nothing that is really like nothing that happens as a coincidence. Everything follows as a kind of a rhythm. There is always a rhythm in everything. So now, how can we use that in the market? There are people who walked into that. They converted that sequence into percentages. They tried it on a lot of data in the past and in the present, and they found that yeah, the market is actually following that sequence too. So the way that we used it, the way that we're gonna use it in the market is that we're gonna try to figure out a percentage of a movement from the first movement. So, for example, using a trend, if a particular stock is trending, for example, let me just put Ethereum, for example. Ethereum USDT. So Ethereum, for example, we found that Ethereum is in an uptrend. Now, what we're gonna do is that, okay, if Ethereum is in an uptrend, so that means it is moving higher, right? So there is a rhythm in that movement, in that uptrend. Now, based on these Fibonacci levels, we're gonna try to figure out and predict, okay, if Ethereum is moving like this, what is gonna be the next stop, or the next place where it's gonna consolidate or pull back? And once you get that, then you can have an idea of, okay, when Ethereum gets to this point, I should expect it to either reverse or at least pull back. And then when it pulls back from this same level again, you can know, okay, if this trend keeps going down, it's probably gonna reverse, or it's gonna retrace, and once it hits a certain level, it's gonna keep going up higher and higher. So if you look at my chart here, I already put one here. I'm just gonna take this off so I can show it to you how I draw this. So we always like to use this TradingView. It's a free chart platform that you can get online and on your app. You can just go on indicators if you wanna add the Fibonacci. Not indicators actually, but it's actually just a tool. So on your left in the menu tab, in the tools tab, sorry, just on the left, if you click, you guys see my screen here. If you click right here, there is this Fibonacci tool. They're gonna show you a lot of tools here. If you click just the third one from the top, they're gonna show you a bunch of tools, and then you're gonna choose the Fibonacci retracement. There is also a Fibonacci time zone, a Fibonacci spiral, and so on and so on. But what we're gonna use is a Fibonacci retracement. This one helps you to determine where the next stop gonna be. So as I said, when a market is moving, it's not just gonna move like go all the way to the top. No, it's gonna go slowly. It moves and then rest a little bit, and then moves, rest a little bit, and sometimes when it rests, it can pull back and then move again, pull back, move and move, and so on. So when you get there, you just choose your Fibonacci retracement. What you're gonna do now, you look at the very top of the first move. So for example, I'm just gonna consider that we open this chart and it is right here. Okay. Let's say it was right here. So what you're gonna do, you look at the very top, you place your 100% at the very top, and then the 0%, you place it at the most recent bottom. Okay. When you place it at the most recent bottom, what we're gonna be looking at now will be the level, which is the 1.618. How did they find out that 1.618 is the level that we want to look at? The way that they found that out is by dividing. So from this Fibonacci sequence, if you divide any of these numbers to the previous one, you're gonna get we're gonna get a number that is close to 1.618. So if you divide 8 by 6, 8 by 5, you're gonna get 1.6. If you divide 13 by 8, you're gonna get 1. I can try that. Let me just show you guys. So 8 by 5, you get 1.6. 13 by 8, you get 1.625, and so on and so on. Actually, so the rule is that all the numbers, they're going to be just merging around the 1.618. That is just like the average number. The average number of the sequence. That is the reason why we are using 1.618 as our target. So when you have put your Fibonacci levels here, now what you're gonna do is wait for a retracement, or if you're already in a trend, your target will be to this level here, the level which is the 1.618. Now, if you remember in our previous discussion, our previous meeting, what I always say is that you don't want to be the very first person to get in a trend, and you don't want to be the very last person to get out of a trend. So when I'm trading, I'm not always going to be trying to get at the really top of the trend. I'm gonna just try to go a little bit lower than the target, because I don't want, if the market misses the target, I don't want to be left out. So as soon as I get close to my target, I can already take half of my profit and let the rest run in the trade. So looking at this, our target when Ethereum was at 12,068, if we were here, our target would be around 1586. So what we look at, we just gonna let the market run. So we see that it's never hit the 1686. It didn't hit it, but it kept moving and moving and moving until recently, when it's actually hit that level. It's actually hit that level and broke it. It's actually broke it recently, and it's pretty much at the same level again. So what I can do now, just looking at this again, looking at this Ethereum again, where it is right now, I can draw that Fibonacci level again and try to figure out where should I take my next profit in Ethereum. Right now, Ethereum is at 1736. And with this Fibonacci, so I'm just going to look at the chart here. The very top that we got at recently, the most recent top level that we got at with Ethereum was this 17. This was just a sec. Okay, 1719. That was the most recent top. And then the most recent bottom was 1312. What Ethereum did, it actually retraced a little bit to the 50% level, and now it is continuing the trend. So for somebody who's trading this, I would look for a target at 1940 right here. The exact level is 1972, but to be safe, I would look for a level at 1940 and then let the rest run. Is that clear enough? Okay. Do we have any questions in the chat yet? Yeah, do not hesitate. If you have any questions, you can just send them in the chat, and I will answer them at the end. So we're gonna take a look at another example of how the Fibonacci level works. There is one of the person actually on Meetup who asked to look at one of these stock. What is the name of the stock again? What's the name of that stock price?
It's BLO.
Oh, BLO. Yeah.
And I think just something really fast. I think it's great to, like, if you guys have stocks and like for our next meetings, just send them and you can totally take a look at them as well.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna delete all of this. I think I went over this yesterday, but here we go. So this is BLO. I'm just gonna look at it where it is right now. And even if we look at what I talked about in the past, we look at the Fibonacci level on this particular stock in the past. I'm just gonna draw it here so that you can see exactly what I'm saying. So I'm gonna start from here when it was at $1. So for example, if you got to this BLO when it was at $1, what you would do, choose your retracement level. You put the 100% at the very top, and then the 0% at the most recent bottom. The most recent bottom here was 0.60. So with this in mind, we're gonna look at a target. So when you are looking at your target, remember also when we talked in the previous meeting, we talked about your risk to reward ratio. So sometimes you will be looking at 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, which means if you risk $50, are you looking for a $50 gain? Are you looking for a $100 gain? Or are you looking for a 150 gain or 200 gain? So you need to know those ratios if you are a day trader, especially. Now, working with that in mind, one of the first level then will be the 1.618. The next level will be the 2.618. The following level will be, of course, the 3.618, depending on your reward ratio that you are looking for. So it's just actually just doubling your risk or doubling your reward based on your risk. So looking at this, if you got this stock when it was at $1, or if you looked at this stock when it was at $1, the very first target that you should have would be around 1.30. So after that, what actually happened? The stock kept the stock stayed in consolidation here, a little bit of some retracement, and never hit the target. And then recently, it actually hit that target and broke that level, but then came back down. So another thing that I need to mention here, as I said, the way the market moves, it moves in a rhythm. So the rhythm is after it found the pace, or after it has found the rhythm, it's gonna go to a target. Then when it reaches that target, it's gonna either consolidate at that target price, or it's gonna retrace a little bit. Now, when the market retraces a little bit, if you are very confident in that stock, what you can do when the market retraces, you can find another entry to reinforce your position. For example, if you have 100 shares and the market reached that target and you are very positive about that trading or that particular stock, when the market retraces, you can add more shares and keep running the trade, keep running the trend. So that is actually what happened with this stock. When the market reached 1.30, it actually hit that level. It went to 1.49, and then it retraced to 1.15. So for somebody who was in this trade, what they would have done is add a little bit more position here at 1.15. And the way that you would know if this is now a good time to add, or the good time to enter a trade if you were not in it already, is by using the same Fibonacci level again. So the way that we talked how the Fibonacci level can be used to find your target, you can also use it to find a level of retracement. So the way that you find the level of retracement, you're gonna see when you add this Fibonacci tool on your chart, there are 4 additional levels in between the 100 and the 0%. One of the level is 0.78, 0.61, 0.50, 0.32, 38, and 0.23. These levels in between are the levels of retracement. Most of the time, the market retraces to 0.618, 618, and 0.50. Sometimes it goes down to 0.38, and sometimes it goes, of course, to 0.23. But if it breaks that level and goes all the way down to 0%, then that was a fake breakout, and it's probably going to be a reversal. All right. So after you got that trade, that you just apply the same strategy again, which is, you know, the top, you know, the bottom, you're going to look at the next 1.61 level. And that level for this particular stock was at $1.82. The same thing happened. This stock was really bullish. It looks like it was really bullish. It reached that level. It even broke that level and went all the way to $2.61. 2.61 level, which is the $2.41 for this. So it is normal. Sometimes if the market is very bullish, it's gonna hit those two levels at the same time. It's gonna hit the 1.61 and go all the way to 2.61 at the same time. But that is only when the market is very bullish. And the more bullish it is, the harder the retracement will be. So as you can see here, this particular market, after hitting these two levels, it actually retraced all the way down to one of the levels. So I'm just going to calculate this level here. Perfect. So what we can see is that after hitting that 2.61 level, this market retraced to 0.38 level. And as we talked, as I said, this 0.38 level is one of the retracement level. So for somebody who is looking to stay long in this particular stock, they would have bought at this level. And it's not very late actually to buy more if you are into this level and if you're into this stock. And also another thing that you can consider here is the moving average is also close to where the price is, which definitely confirms that which definitely just confirms the retracement and not a reversal. It never broke the 20 moving average, but it actually just came to it as a correction of the market, and it looks like it's continuing the trend. So if you get in this, so for the person who asked this question, this particular stock right now, it looks like it is a good buy, and one of your levels that you should look at first of all will be this same level here, which is the 100% of the very recent move. So the level will be $2.42. That would be the first target, and then after this, another level, the next level should be $3. If it breaks $3, it's probably going to go to $4.25. All right.
Emmanuel, there is few questions for you in the chat.
Okay, let's go over those. Okay, how do you get back in if you got out of Ethereum earlier and didn't get back in? Okay, yeah. How do you get? So actually, what Mami asked is, how do you get back in a trade if you got out before the trend was actually over? So one of the thing is, of course, do not always like beat up yourself and be like, oh, I missed that. I got up too early and stuff like that. I don't really advise you that, because it's just gonna stress you out and you will have the fear of missing out, which is not a good thing. But one thing that you will always do, I'm going to actually tell you exactly how I'm trading Ethereum, and I've been very successful with it. It's one of my most preferred cryptocurrencies. So when the trend goes up with this particular tool, the Fibonacci tool, you know where the trend, you know the exit level. Okay, so you know when it's got at this level, it's either gonna stop and consolidate, or it's gonna retrace. So what you're just gonna do is you're gonna put your Fibonacci tool right there and wait for it to retrace at one of these levels, the levels that I talked about, which are the 0.618, 0.5, 0.38, 0.23. So for example, for Ethereum, for example, I was riding Ethereum from since it was at 300 or something, and the most recent trade that I did, I got in Ethereum again when it was at 1400, 14 or 1300, and my target. Let me just show you exactly how it was. So this was the very first move. So here is how it was. About something like this. Yeah. So I got in Ethereum when it was at 1300 because I saw it was consolidating here as this was a triangle and it was going to break that triangle. So I got in there. My target was actually 18,000. But recently it reached 1700 and something, but it didn't tap into the 18. But as I said, I always try to be a middleman. I took my profit. And the market retraced. The very next day, the market retraced. And what I did is very simple. I just put my Fibonacci again from from the very, very bottom level to the top that we got, which was this 18, 17. And what I noticed, this was yesterday actually, it came back to the 50 level, 0.50, 0.5 level. As soon as I saw it at 0.5 level, I bought more. And now it's already going back up. And what my target is for today, or my target is for now with Ethereum, is $2,000. $2,000 is the level, but I'm not going to wait for $2,000. As soon as we get to 1950, 19 something, I'm going to take my profit and wait for a pullback again. And this is how I've been riding this market since it was at like $300. So yeah, this same tool, you just look at what we talked about. With what we have already talked about, you should be really good in your trading by now. We have an entry level, we have an entry strategy, we have a trend confirmation and trend follow-up strategy, which is the moving average, and now we have an exit strategy, which is going to also help you with as a retracement and a reinforcement of your level. So if you think that you miss out on a trade and you got out too early, what you do is you place your Fibonacci tool and you wait for the retracement. The retracement should be at one of these levels: 0.618, 0.50, 0.38, or 0.23. Now, are you gonna put all of your position at 0.68, 0.618? No, what you do is as I said in the very first meeting, you don't always put all your money at the same time. You start loading slowly. So you start loading slowly. If the market keeps going down, you load a little bit more, but you only load at those levels because you know, okay, this is a level of retracement. I can load. You can add your position. You get to another level of retracement, you can add more. But if it keeps breaking and breaking, you can get out. But if it reverses and continues the trend, then you are really good. You are well loaded, and you're gonna ride the trend, and you'll be very happy with your profit. All right. What was the other question?
Yes, there is two other questions about like to know if you sell all of your stocks or what do you do for that?
If you sold all of your stocks?
Yeah, so I think, right? So maybe Richard, can you actually ask the question you want to ask? I think it's the same as Sophia, but just
not necessarily all of your stocks, but if you have purchased do you find that you will sell all of that particular stock that you have purchased, or is there a particular wave that you kind of ride till the next moment, somewhat like you're explaining right now?
So yeah, when it comes to stocks, and especially for long term, what I usually advise is to take half of your profit when you get your when you get at least like 100%. And the 100% would be if you got in a trend very, very early and you got at a great or right price. The 100 is usually the 1.61 level. At 1.61 level, you should get 100% of your investment, and at that level, you can sell 50% of your position and leave the rest. If you're not very much of a day trader, you're not going to be looking at that particular stock every day. You can just take 50% of your profit and leave the rest there to ride the trend.
So I'll give you
But of course,
I'll give you
go
an
ahead.
example. I have a stock, Sava. I got into it pretty early. I've already made back my principal investment. So all I have sitting now is just my profits. How long do I ride that, or would I ever get rid of that stock in its total? I'm trying to figure out what my next strategy is now that I'm just literally sitting on profit for that particular stock, and then how do I maneuver that moving forward? Because I think, Bryce, you're asking for a specific stock, so that's why we can use this as an example.
All right, just looking at Sava right now. So just another thing that I should mention, when you are tracing or when you are putting your Fibonacci tool, do not always put it at the very, very top of a candle. You know, candlestick are these are representation of the price, but yes, you put it at either the close or the open of the price. Okay, so looking at Sava went to $120, but it's actually opened at $100. So we're gonna consider the 100% as the $100. Now, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna analyze it. The very top was $100. We are considering the $100 as the very top, and the most recent bottom of the trend was $18. Now, what happened with it? It got to $100 and then it pulled back all the way to $45. This $45 is pretty much it's around the 0.38%, which is a level of retracement. So for somebody who is trading this, what I would do, this is actually a pretty good level, and it's a level of it's a pretty low level of retracement. I would keep my I would keep my position here and wait for it to go to another level, so that if the market continues this move, the next level of this particular stock should be 150. And with the type of movement I see it moving on, it will probably hit the 150 and go a little bit higher, and then do something like it did previously. So it's gonna go higher, but then it's gonna retrace strongly too. It's gonna retrace extensively. Just the movement looks like it's a very volatile stock. So the more volatile it is, the more the movement will be very extensive. So yeah, if you are looking to trade this as a long-term investor, what you would do, I would actually stick on this. It doesn't look like a really bad stock. Looking at the number, like the volume of investment on this, I see that they have a pretty high volume of buyers. And yeah, if you are looking at holding it as a long-term investment, your next target should be the 150. You can take another half profit of your half principal that you have right now.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
And then you leave the other half right next. Yeah.
Okay, that's
perfect.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's live for everyone. As I just got into that stock when it was at 18, and literally just walking through exactly what I've been experiencing with this stock. And since I do have my principal back, I'm now. I think we, especially for us new to trading, we get a little lost when we're playing with our profits and trying to decide if we're going to hold on to the profits for a long-term return, or do we pull out and move into another stock altogether. So that's where I'm now trying to learn what works for me, what is my style, what's my learning style, and then figure out, as I said, is it a long-term hold, or do I pull out and move on to our next stock? So thank you very much for that.
No problem. No problem.
All right. I want to say,
All right.
sorry, there is another question. What's a good minimum to buy? So, yeah, Sophia is asking what's a good minimum to buy once it's time to buy a stock, right? And I would say that it really go with like your account. I don't think that there is, personally, I don't think that there is a minimum. The only thing is that you need to kind of cover the fees, right? So like if you are going into a stock, depending on how long you want to invest in it and like how volatile is it, basically it really goes with the fee. So if you have to pay like $10 to buy a stock, $10 to sell that stock, so you have that $20, you have to kind of like make sure that you're at least making $20 profit, right? I would say that the rest is really like how you money management. So how you manage your money. There is something I would like to say. First of all, thank you, Emmanuel. Something about Fibonacci that is awesome. It's just the 1.6.8 actually is the golden ratio. So like if you guys are interested, you can take a look at it. It's everywhere, mostly in the world. So like golden ratio, you can find that everywhere. The next thing I would like to say about everything. Do I have anything to add for Fibonacci? Yeah, I would just tell you guys like if you want to like try it, because sometimes it's a bit hard to draw it, but to draw it. But like if you want to try it, just go on TradingView, try to play with it, see how you feel about it, and like if you have any questions, you can always like ask Emmanuel or ask me. And yeah, just like I think that's kind of like the best way to learn about it. There was a question from Kefir. You can turn on your microphone.
Was it Keith or
is it
Sophia?
Is it Sophia? Yeah, Sophia, you can turn on your microphone.
Thank you. Okay, so I guess because so what I'm not understanding too well is, so this graph that you guys just used, where do you find that? Because I usually go on Simple or Yahoo Finance. So keep in mind that I'm fairly new. So when I'm seeing the chart, it looks good, but I'm totally lost. Where do you find that type of chart too?
So yeah, so this type of chart, I just shared it. I'm gonna share it again. It's called TradingView. So it's a platform. There is also a mobile app. And it's basically just to visualize stocks. And there is stocks, there is also cryptocurrencies and Forex and anything you want to trade. So it's really like, it's my favorite tool actually to visualize stocks. So I would suggest also to try it, see how you like it, and you can see like the charts and make some technical analysis on it.
Okay, very good. And just another question on the Ethereum or Bitcoin, either or. So you were it was said that try to get maybe 100%, then I guess leave maybe half of it in. So let's say you invest, and I'm trying to see if I understand it this way. Let's say you invest $1,000 into either or, and it gets to, are you saying wait until it gets to 2,000 before you take some out? Or let's just say you see maybe 1,400 in there. You put in 1,000, but it went up to 1,400. Do you take some of that out, or do you just, it's best to leave it?
Yeah. So when it comes to the percentages, it also depends with the stock that you are trading.
Okay.
So for example, for Ethereum, you can see how it's kind of it's kind of it's already at an expensive price. It's already at 1,700. So for it to reach to reach 3,000, it's not that easy, especially looking at the way it's moving right now. The way it's moving right now is really slow. It's moving really slow compared to other stocks or other cryptocurrencies. With the percentage of how it is moving, Grace, can you just put the Ethereum and try to draw the Fibonacci again? Ethereum
Or
USDT.
you can show it if you want. I was going to present
Okay.
something after, but yeah, you can present it. By the way, we're gonna have the meeting with Ashley on Wednesday. It's about Ethereum, so that would be also a good time if you want to ask any questions about Ethereum to Ashley.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So just looking at Ethereum is here again. I have it here again. So the way that you see how it is moving, Ethereum is moving really slowly. It's not as fast as Bitcoin. So when I say you look at a 100%, is 100% depending on these levels here. So for this particular move, you're going to look at 100% of the previous move. So 100% of this particular move, the most recent move was from the very bottom was 728 to about 1370. 100% of this move will not 100% actually, it's 61.18%. 61.8%. So the move, the next target or the next level will be the next level of this particular the previous move was the 17 or 18,000. That was the particular target price. Now, what you're gonna look at now, for like looking at it right now. So we're gonna look at the move that it did recently. You can see that the move that it did recently was not as strong as the very first move. So now what we're gonna look at is we're gonna look at the first target based on the most recent move. So based on this most recent move, the next target should be $2,000, 2,000 US dollars, 2026. And now, depending on how that move will be, if the move is very strong and it hits this $2,000 and goes to like $2,500, that tells you, okay, there is even more momentum in Ethereum, which means the next target is going to be based on this. It's going to be based on that recent move. So the next target will probably be even higher. But if the movement was low, then the target will be also short. Your target will be really low. But if the movement was pretty volatile, then your target will also be a little bit higher than normal. Like I'm just gonna show Doge, for example.
I'll have
Pretty
to.
sure
Yeah, Emmanuel, I'll have to just stop it there, just because like we're like really over the time. But and I said I was going to just say something about the. If you can stop presenting your screen, I'm just gonna like basically go quickly over Dogecoin. There is also Ashley, if you can maybe turn on your microphone. I know if you're still in the meeting. Let me see.
Hey Bryce, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good. So yeah, like basically just one thing, because some people were talking about Dogecoin a lot, right? And one thing I would like to say about it is that just be really careful if you go into it, right? Because like we saw some really big movements, and most of that movements, it's basically like, for what I know, it's mostly Elon Musk, right? So just tweeting things about Doge. So like basically what happened on the first day, I think there was about like 9 trades per minute on Dogecoin. and Elon just said Doge on his Twitter, right? So it just like went super high. It went up to like 700 trades a minute. So that's why it's just basically like him saying things about it. I would say to really be careful because there is nothing like backed. And other than that, I don't know, Ashley, if you have heard anything else about it, but
Yeah. And this kind of I guess kind of going back to like that one as well as with XRP. What I've realized is, especially for people that are new in this space, I always recommend, don't fall for the hype, right? If you do fall for the hype, then essentially you're taking a lot more risk in a market that's already pretty risky and volatile, right? And if you're new to cryptocurrency and you don't understand how it really moves, then you're just putting yourself in a really tricky situation, right? So right now, actually, when we're thinking about like back in even 2017, where we had the first bull run, a lot of people put their money into the market because they saw it moving and they didn't even know what they were getting into and they lost a lot of money, right? So I'm just a really big advocate for, of course, getting into the market, but getting into the market, the right way, right? And also being strategic about it. So, I mean, like for myself, yes, I did participate with Doge. I did have it. I purchased it back in like 2016, to be honest, and I just kind of forgot about it. And then I was able to see that there were some profits there, which was awesome. But it's not something that I personally am taking advantage of because I feel like there's so many other amazing projects that you can take advantage of and make huge returns. Like I was just talking to one of my students that she literally invested like $700 into a cryptocurrency back in September. And fast forward to today, that $700 that she invested into an amazing project that had long-term vision went from $700 to $3,000 just within 4 months, right? So it's like really focusing on putting your money into things that make sense, that have a really good use case, and just kind of focusing on long-term growth is better than just quick money. Because it always will make sense afterwards.
mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Ashley. And there is that little thing about the Bitcoin actually. So, again, Elon Musk for Tesla. So Tesla decided to put some of their money into Bitcoin. So that's why we can see that big bump from close to 20% today, actually, right? So it looks like it's a good thing, right? Because it's the richest man in the world, and his company is doing well too. So like if they're doing that, I guess other CEOs are going to start doing it as well. So we might see that big move from the Bitcoin like going even higher, right? So like the next target that people are looking at is 69,000. We'll see. Different people have different predictions, right? So some people say 200,000 before the end of the year. We don't know. We'll see at the end of the year. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I guess, yeah, I'll just go back. So thank you, Emmanuel, again for the presentation. One thing I want to tell you guys, so a lot of people actually asked us if we're able to basically share information, like share the stocks, the investments we're doing. So we couldn't really figure out like the best way to share it. So what we decided to do, we decided to launch a newsletter, basically. I'm just going to share the link of that newsletter. And what it's going to be about, it's basically like all stocks that, for instance, Emmanuel is looking at, that I am looking at, that Ashley is into cryptocurrency. So if you're interested in like going into cryptocurrencies, you can basically just follow that newsletter. And what's really interesting about it is that we're also going to share the strategy to basically like go buy those stocks, right? So if you're interested. And so, yeah, like full strategy, what's a good entry point based on like our analysis and all of that. So there is that. There is a promo code that I'm also going to share right now that you can use. It gives you 10%. So if you want to start, the newsletter is going to start on February 24th. And I really encourage you, if you don't feel comfortable sometimes trading, or you don't really know which stocks to buy or something, it's great because like we basically provide you all the analysis of it. So what you can do is basically just follow, see what we're doing, and at least it gives you like a good idea. And from that, you can learn and like build your own strategy, right? So that's mostly what I wanted to say for today. Thank you again, Emmanuel. If you guys have any questions, please just ask Emmanuel. You can go on the group. I'm going to share the recording later this week. So if you guys, again, you want to see how to put the Fibonacci retracement, and I also encourage you guys, please just try it, right? Try, see how comfortable you feel about it, and just ask any questions. So yeah, thanks, Emmanuel. And
Bryce, you got a question here from Sophia. Last two questions. She wanted to know, would it be separated by day trader and long term? And is this Canadian or USD?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Thanks, Sophia. So basically it's gonna be, there's gonna have the list from me, Emmanuel, Ashley, and Josh and Monica, and we all trade differently. So like I'm doing mostly swing trading. I know Emmanuel is doing swing trading, I think also maybe a bit of day trading. Ashley is doing swing trading, same thing with Monica. So Josh is doing long-term trading. So basically we're gonna have like all of that. It's gonna be really depending on like us, but at least you're gonna have all of that. And from there, you're gonna be able to like see which one you prefer, right, to follow. There is also all the information on the website. So if you go into the About section, you can see pretty much all of our skills, right? So everything is in Canadian dollars also. So yeah, so thank you very much for all of that. Thanks again, Emmanuel. And I guess I'll see
maybe
you.
just to add.
Yeah.
Just to add to what you just said. When it comes to investment, most of investors personally, and from what I know from Bryce and Josh, all of us have spoke with everyone in our team, and we are definitely looking at long-term investment in something that is actually durable. So even if it's something that is like because most of the time, like when we send out, there are some time when we send out something or when we fund something, it's something that other investors have figured out too. And then when we send it out, because a lot of other investors have seen it, they are buying the stock. So it's gonna move a little bit faster in couple days in the beginning. But that doesn't mean that it's actually a day trading or a day trading stock. But what it means is just that there is a little bit more speculation going on around it. But before we send something, we look at it in a long-term perspective. It is actually something that's worth it to be put money in. We cannot, like, as you can see, for example, Doge is something that is moving very high, but we do not really recommend it because it's not very sustainable. There are unlimited numbers of Doge, and it's something that, like, it's a money printing machine for the owner, and the people who are buying it, they are literally taking a lot of risk. But yeah, so the idea is that most of our trading or our stock that we are looking at are long-term investment, even if there can be some short-term movement from speculation and whatever. The idea is for long-term hold. And yeah, I know there are other people, like a lot of things that we talk about here. It may sound a lot of information and stuff like that, but this is one of the ways that you can simplify your life by letting us do the big work of the research and figuring out the entry price, entry level, and target level. And then what you're just going to do is looking at reading our newsletters. And with that, you have at least a really good perspective of what you can look at and how you can write that. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to add. And yeah, if you have any question, do not hesitate to ask any one of us in the group.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Have a great evening.
Great evening, everyone.
Take care, everybody, and thanks again, you too. Thanks again, Ashley.
No
Thank
problem.
you.